morning and welcome to this morning practice where I have the blankets. Remember that, a strap, a block, and we're going to be, I think, mostly exploring the ground floor, the back, and we're going to do a practice that we've done here with, which is pulsing. If I call back the fundamental of pulsing, when we are lying down, legs nice and straight, the power is into the heel, and it's the pressing and release of the side of the heel here with the floor that creates the real movement. The rest of the body is completely relaxed. It's only that pressure here that get us to move. So if you knew if we don't do it enough, even when we don't do it enough, sometimes it doesn't come back too easily. And we're going to go through different variation of pulsing because this is one, and then you can have one with bent knee and a long leg. You can have two bent knees. You can be in your belly. So let's see how we are going to go. You might have we'll collect the pieces at the end, actually. Collecting the pieces is being part of the awareness and stuff that we can bring to our journaling or to our actually activation of the day for ourselves. So please make yourself comfortable. I have my mat and I have two blankets. I'm really like giving myself a lot of TLC today. And I have my block, and I always take a scarf instead of a yoga strap but it doesn't matter what you have. I need to make sure that I have enough light so you can see. That's it. And that I'm staying in a place where you can see me, which is about here, seems to be fine. So for many of us, and that includes me, to come down to the floor straight onto my, nice and long legs doesn't agree with my lower back. So inhale and just pick up one knee at a time. Hold it into your chest without pressing too hard. And then just allow a gentle rock of that leg from side to side. We are really seeing the lower back. And it's our first very movement of the day. So our connective tissue, our fascia, is still cold, okay? So be patient with yourself. Give yourself a treat of time, really. Okay, and notice here that there is no flexion where usually I would advocate flex the foot. I am not here, okay? I'm working with the connective tissue. And just keep there, breathing, relaxing. And if you feel like it this morning, you might want to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth for a deeper release. And it doesn't have to be a loud sigh, sighing, but do release through the mouth if you think it would be beneficial for you. And gently release the hand from holding that leg and allow that leg to come flat, foot flat on the floor, knees still bent, and stay there here with that leg bent. And rest that foot onto the floor. Allow the arms to open up on the side of your torso, palms up. And keep breathing in and out here, in and out, in and out, through the mouth if you like for the out breath. And come in gently noticing your body and the sensation already in the body before we start this practice. There might already be a sense of pulsing you can catch, or a little throb, a little pulse. Noticing. And then gently drop that right knee, so the bent knee really, down all the way to the floor, to the side, and roll onto the outer edge of your foot. Okay, so the knee is not traveling on its own, it's the foot that rolls on the outside of that foot, and the knee bent down, and allow then the legs to go nice and long. Noticing your right side versus your left side. And then with your next inhale, picking up your left knee, hugging it, bringing it to your chest. Okay, releasing any tension you may hold there in the mouth, in the throat, in the shoulder, in the neck. And just give yourself a chance to your opposite side, which is my left side here for me, to gently open and release. Open and release, and sigh out if you need anything to feel needs to be discarded. If you have something you need to discharge, allow the breath to take it out of your body. And again here, making sure that leg is not staying put to, just gently giving it a gentle movement, allowing for the lower back actually to feel a release. Beautiful. And dropping that foot onto the floor, keeping the knees bent, pointing toward the ceiling, opening up your arms again. Palms up. And then gently dropping onto the side, rolling the left foot on the outside of the foot. Knee follows. And that leg becomes nice and long, meeting with the opposite leg and sensing the sensation in the body. Feel free to shimmy, to adjust so the posture or the pose that you are on feels nice. And then we're going to plant those heels into the mat. So you gently lift and gently tap. It's not, gently tapping. It's more to activate the notion of where we're going to plant our heel to be able to do our pulsing. And then when you have the planting done, soften the knees. Nothing can be done if your legs are, the knees are hyperlocked. You need to keep the soft knees so the energy can travel forward and up. Upward more than forward. We want the energy to travel up. And the work comes from the heel, and the feet are simply, the toes are flickering, slightly pointing toward the wall in front of you, and release, point, release. And then feeling the little friction of the heels on your mat. Okay. And you may not be able to move much at the beginning. Be patient with yourself and don't allow those movements to come from the rest of the body. It's not about the pelvis moving. It's not about shoulders and back moving. Everything comes from the heel, from that gentle pressure and release with Mother Earth. Okay, and be there. We're going to be there for a couple of minutes. A long practice just to get us back to our feet. Placing the rest of your body the way you want. Your arms can be close to your body, and they might actually feel more of the energy of the pulsing that is happening. Releasing everything else and simply flicking, and be present. I'm going to invite in your mind's eye the idea of the ripple, that when we throw a little stone in the water, even the smallest of stone will create a ripple. And this is what's happening here as we flick the feet and plant our heel into the mat. The little movement that we do has a ripple effect, and it travels upward through the body. And some of it may come around the body as well. So feeling, becoming aware of the sensation that are being created. Know that you can pause your pulsing at any time. If it's getting tired, just pause it. Take a few couple of breaths and collect it back whenever it feels good for you. Should you pause, take the time to feel the energy traveling through you before starting again. Good, and then we're actually going to all stop the practice, relax, allow the legs to open to the side, the toes to the side if they want to, hips opening, and just here integrating that first pulsing, noticing how it feels, noticing where it is traveling with ease. Noticing if it has an effect of amplifying your heartbeat, your pulses, your throb, your tingling, or is it still too early for you to feel anything? And that's completely okay. Okay, for our next practice, we're going to bend our left knee, plant our left foot onto the mat, so knee pointing to the ceiling. And then we're going to use again the heel of the right foot to flick. So we plant our heel, sorry, and we flick the toes. Okay, and we keep our left foot very stable. So one-legged, and yet don't think we're only doing a one-leg practice. The left foot is there to create a really strong foundation. But watch out, because it's easier to actually activate the left foot than the right foot here. So if it's the case, it's my case this morning, I do not like it. I'm going to go halfway down towards my calf, keep myself on my heel. So those are little practice that you adjust for yourself. That's why I'm speaking it up for you to realize that, I don't want my foot to move my body. It has to be a far more gentle and subtle practice than that. It's not my pelvis moving the whole thing. So noticing what works for you in that version. And you may not like it at all. I don't like it at all this morning. So I'm going to revert back to the first practice. That is where I need to be this morning. We're going to be there for another minute, okay? So starting now, recentering yourself into your main axis and seeing really yourself as two-legged, two lower limbs with energy floating through them, meeting into your pelvis, entering your column, your torso, and allow for those energy of right, left to actually meet in each of the chakra. So allow the energy of right leg, left leg to enter the root chakra, to spin, to circle, and to separate again. And then meeting again in the sacral chakra. Two opposite energy meeting in the one chakra, rebalancing it, swirling, turning, spinning, and separating again, coming out of the body and meeting again in the solar plexus. Spinning, swirling, circling, rebalancing, and noticing the speed your chakra wants to spin at. Noticing anything else about the possibly opening that it creates in this part of your body. And then releasing again, the two energy separates again and flow back together in Anahata, the heart chakra. And again here, spinning, circling, swirling. Looking at our two hearts, the physical heart, the energetic heart center. And keep swirling, twirling, and separating again. You are still pulsing during that whole practice, unless it's too tough for you. And then meeting into Vishuddha, the throat chakra. Clearing, emptying, releasing, spinning, swirling, circling, vibrating, allowing the throat to open, to release, and the energy separate again to meet in Ajna, the third eye chakra. Again, circling, spinning, swirling, maybe at a higher, faster frequency, noticing if that is the case for you. And then finally, those comes to meet on top of our head at our crown chakra before being diffused upward. We've been here for quite a while, releasing the practice. Whatever leg hold you had, just release it. Release and receive. And be in stillness and be open to really receive all vibration. As long as they last, it might be the shiver running on the inside of your arm. It can be the tingles in your toes. It can be the flow of energy, the swirling, that serpentine energy still flowing through you. Beautiful. And then picking up that right foot, planting it the way we started with the left foot here. And it's not because something doesn't work on the one side that it won't work on the other. So let's giving it a go. Planting the left heel onto the mat. Be ready to start flicking those little toes, pointing to the wall and pointing up. It's a tiny, tiny movement, okay? And feel the heel anchoring into the mat. Spend time with that long leg. Initiate the pulsing from that leg. Don't worry about the other one. I think that was my mistake earlier on. Okay, activate the pulsing from the heel, allowing to float up, to travel up. Noticing whether the back of your body is fully resting onto your mat, or do you still have a bit of tightness left, possibly in the shoulder, in the neck, in the lower back. There's something for you there to release a little bit more. And now just be aware of your right foot planted in the mat. And come here simply. finding your rhythm. So we're going to be silent for that one for a minute or so. Listen to your rhythm. Beautiful. And again, once more, release. And notice again, where is it flowing? Where is it swelling? Noticing your sensation. And possibly it has reached your head at that stage. Maybe your throat, your ear, your cortex, the front of your head. Noticing how it all feels. And then bring that leg down. Taking for a pendiculation, both feet together, both hands together. In a lift, point the fingers behind you, the toes to the wall in front of you. Or lift that torso off the mat. Just big stretch. And then reach on the right and reach on the left and reach on the right and reach on the left. And we're going to go into what they call bananasana shape. It's when you're going to take your right foot and your left foot onto the right corner. And then just stay there, just with the legs, no more. And breathing in, reaching with your left arm behind you, just with your left arm. And breathe into the space you're creating. And gently coming back, one leg at a time, left leg first, right leg next. Okay, brilliant. And then doing the same work, you might want to adjust, lift your pelvis again, shimmy yourself a bit, and then step forward to the left with your left leg, and then followed by the right. And then reach your right arms to the floor, no, sorry, to the wall behind you, creating that massive, massive space, that massive opening onto your right side. Breathe in there, breathing into the armpits, into the hand, and into wherever part of the body you feel like you need to breathe in and out. And gently coming back to center, one leg at a time. Beautiful. We're going to come and roll ourselves to come onto our belly. Okay, for a bit on belly pulsing. So belly pulsing, suddenly the toes become the direct contact with the floor. So please put away your belly so that you can actually rest at ease. And it's the same with your breast. And should you be heavy breasted, you might wish to put a bit of a pillow over your head. Okay, because possibly your head going down might crush too much of your breast and meaning crush too much of your lungs. So feel free. And again, once more, adjust with the pose all the time. But use something soft. Do not use, if you use a block, put a, actually, you could put your block underneath your blanket. Okay, you don't want in a pulsing, you don't want to feel any edge. You just want to be in comfort. So you could be here. Okay. But honestly, I think cushions could be nicer. You could be under your mat. Just really, you get me. I know you get me. Just make yourself very comfy. Okay. And then plant your toes. Okay. And first of all, let's focus on the work of the toes. So they are doing what the heel was doing earlier on, which is planting. And feel how they press and release, press, release, press, release. You feel that? Press, release. Okay, getting there. Taking your hands by the side of your torso, actually, by the side of, but noticing whether you need to turn your head on one side. If you need to turn your head on one side, we'll have to do it for the other side again, okay? So, and that's completely okay. Or you can rest on your forehead. See what's possible for you. And we're going to be there for another minute. I'm trying to see my little, that's it. And press and release. The work is exactly the same. Press and release. Relaxing the jaws here. Relaxing your hands. Relaxing the buttock, the leg, the shoulders. And you know that if you do not like this pose, you can revert to being on your back in the pose that you like. So I let you decide for yourself. Should your head be turned on one side, it's time now to turn it on the other side. And we're going to go there for another minute. And gently releasing, resting the feet, taking your feet off the position, allowing the feet to, especially the toes now, to relax. Come to a standstill. Gentle body scan, noticing how this feels. Noticing whether you have accessed part of your body you didn't when you were doing it on the front. You're going to take your hands in front of you, pointing together. Head, your head is between your hands, and feet together. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the front, to the side, and roll. So they're like half roll, okay? And should you fall like I just done, that's okay. Allowing yourself to roll and roll and roll if that's available and accessible for you this morning. Woo, it's cold on the floor, noticing the sensation. And releasing, coming back. And you can come and reverse back onto your mat, onto your back, sorry, to relieve, noticing what's there. We're going to take our arms, and you may have noticed that the pulsing always doesn't reach as far as the shoulder. So we're going to be going back to a pulsing for a practice of 2 minutes with arms up. Okay, so we're not going to jiggle the arms. We're going to allow them soft elbow, the way we have our soft knees, soft wrist, so the energy can actually travel through because the muscles are relaxed and energy can travel through relaxed muscle. There is no hindering for it to float. and just simply float, going for it. And should you want to do something else, different posture, allow them to do so. Relax the shoulder, relax the tongue, relax the jaw. It's really important that if we want our pulsing. So really plant the heel, okay? Remember, soft knees, flick the toes. And discover your arms here, what works for them. And maybe possibly having them up in the air is not the easiest. So how would it feel to have them resting on your belly, on your body? Would they be more part of the pulsing vibration? And release, 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 and release some more. And gently letting go. Allow the arms to slide back to the floor by the side of your torso. Beautiful. Picking up both knees, hugging your knees, and raise your knees with your arms unrolled from side to side. And include your head in your rolling, okay? So the head is rolling with you. You're going from almost one ear to the next. Beautiful. We're going to take that posture, Viparita Karani. You can have it with a block underneath your pelvis, or you can keep it nice and low on the mat. I will demonstrate with the block. Okay. So watch out if you know you have a bit of blood pressure, heart issue, because we're going to bring our legs up. Okay. So my block is sitting on the big bone of my pelvis, not on my lower back. Okay. My lower back is hollow and has, is just hanging in the space. And you can start. So the full expression of the pose is here, but that might be too much for you today, you know. So you might just be happy with a bit of a bend in the knee to start at least the practice. We're going to be there for a minute. So there's a lot of blood, of venous blood, the returning flow from feet to heart. Okay, so it's quite powerful what we do here. So move progressively in the pose, but keep exploring it. Then very gently open up to the side so your legs look like a V. You can have your legs bent, your knees can be bent. That doesn't change anything. Just opening. Or you could have one leg bent, the other nice and long for a few breaths, and then alternate it. And sighing through the mouth. This morning is really all about releasing, letting go, discharging. Okay. So we can have a clearer, more vibrant energy flowing through us. Bending, if you were like me with one leg bent, one leg straight, just alternate that. And breathe, breathe into the space, and make space in the body. Open up again a wider V if you can. Speaking of making space in the body, Again, once more, you can have your knees bent. That is completely okay. And then play with the jaws. Release the lower jaw, mandible. Just allow it to move from side to side until it creates a yawn. And allow the yawning to come from inside of you. Oh, go and seek it. Look for it. Call it. And release. Beautiful. And repeating this as much as you need, should you need it. And then come back with your feet side by side and cross. I'm going to cross my right leg on top of the next one. And I'm going to bend my knee actually. And I'm completely playing here, noticing. I went from really opening the front of my hips to closing it completely, to rebalancing it. And then inhale up, my legs comes back up, uncross, and cross again with the opposite leg. And then very gently back up again, uncross the legs, and one leg at a time, bring the foot back down to the floor. So it doesn't matter if you took the block and if you still have the block behind you, happy days, we can go towards a gentle back bend. Before we do that, make sure again, lift up that pelvis by pressing the feet into the floor like you would do in a rolling bridge and readjust, okay? Rearrange yourself on your block. You are on your big bone of your pelvis, okay, and not on the lower back. Sorry for repeating myself all the time, but I just want to be safe. And then allowing for one leg to go nice and low. Oh, yawn again, should you need it. Opening up the palms of your right arm, right hand to the ceiling. And then noticing whether your left leg is willing to go and meet your right leg. Should it be too much for you, come and bend your opposite leg, okay? If you're happy there, just be there. In that gentle back bend, releasing actually, what I meant by releasing is actually lift up the top of your torso where your shoulders is. Bring the shoulder blades closer to one another and come and rest on the top, very top of your shoulder, relaxing the neck. Beautiful. And then bending the right knee first. Then we're going to pick up our left leg and have our left ankle resting on our right foot. Okay, reopening up the hips here on the left side. And then see if you can pick up the right leg off the mat, resting on the block or out. Take the block away if that disturbs you. And releasing. Back down to the floor. And taking the left leg off the right one, bending the left leg, dropping the foot, and repeating all of this on the opposite side. Ankle resting on top of your left thigh near the knee. And then very gently, the right knee, think about having it walking towards the wall in front of you to open up that hip flexor. was the same on the other side. I just didn't cue it. And inhale, picking up the left foot and coming in a first version of through the needle. We're just not placing the arms into the leg. Beautiful. And dropping it. Uncrossing and doing the whole work. Picking your hip, removing the block, come and hug. And then releasing all of this. If you have time, you can stay here for a little bit longer, putting yourself on the side into the fetus pose and collecting your pieces of all the sensation that came up. What flow, what blocked, what did you learn, what did you see, what did you feel?